All right, welcome to my channel. So the first thing that you need to know before you start watching my videos is the purpose of this channel is for education and entertainment, mostly education with some entertainment, and mostly for my students. Really, it's an opportunity for me to showcase my algorithm and for my students to see it working and me to be able to talk about the trades and why I'm taking the trades and things like that. This is not a channel where I'll be showing you that I'm making millions of dollars. So family rules, you won't be seeing that. Some traders out there want to put their stuff out. I don't even know why they do that. Like on social media in a public sphere, hey, look at me, I made 20,000 today, 50,000 today, all that stuff. That will not happen on this channel. The most you'll see me making here is anywhere from 50 bucks to $1,000 in a day would be the most once we get to that level of scaling. And then I'll reset and we'll be looking at 50 bucks and we'll be scaling back to, a thousand a day or so. And we'll just keep resetting that scaling. But family rules will not be showing you on this my social media that I'm making tons of money. Second thing is I'm trading with Thinkorswim. That's my platform that you see here on the screen. So you got my two windows on futures trading. Same thing, it'll be Thinkorswim. So you'll see that I trade futures and the equities market with these videos. I trade based off of my algorithm, the simple switch algorithm, and it's got different settings. Same algo, but different settings for futures market, for equities market, and different types of trading. It's got different settings for it. So I'll be trading off that. Links below if you're interested in learning more about the algo. All the education over there is free, as well as the trading log that you'll see. You can get the link below, which will give you that log, so you can go over there and explore all that stuff. So when you're looking at my screen, now when you're looking at my screen, you'll see these the chart markups, and you'll see yellow. Wherever I put yellow is an entry. So when it's yellow like this, it's the algo ideal entry. And then you may see a yellow like this, and that is where I actually got in, and it'll be touching the candle that I got in on. And then the location. Red are my stops, green are my targets. And then if you want to learn how the algo works so you can better understand what I'm doing when I'm doing my trades, over at the link below, you can go over there and learn all about the algo. It's completely free for that whole education. It's free to learn about my trading plan, my strategy, everything that I teach about trading is free over there. Only thing that costs money is if you decided to buy the algo, then that would cost money. But you can apply a lot of the stuff that I teach over there, including my strategy and trading plan, to your own strategies and help maybe improve your game. So all that is definitely free. I don't charge for any of that education. Only the algo if that's something you decided to add to your list. So then sometimes you'll see on here me doing experiments, which I'm going to try to do another one later on this year when I get a little more time. But I love to do trading experiments. We blow up accounts, but we do it in the purpose of education, showing you that certain trading techniques or strategies sometimes just don't work. And we play with some different concepts and blow up accounts, real accounts, small accounts, but still real accounts. And you'll also see some small accounts as well, like when we do offshore brokers and things like that. So, and then of course, educational videos I'll be putting out as well. So there's a lot of different content here. So if you can give me the like, hit that like button, that would help me a lot with the YouTube. And if you subscribe and hit that bell icon, you can be notified whenever I upload new content. And the last thing, but probably the most important thing, is trading is very risky. Do not place a trade based on what you see here or whatever I say. I'm not telling you what to do. If it sounds like I'm telling you what to do, it's me just thinking out loud. And most traders will lose all of their money. I am strictly speculating. I do not have a crystal ball. So, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. So please do not take financial advice from me. This is strictly to talk about how I trade, to teach about how I do things, and for your entertainment. All right, so now the legal stuff is out of the way. Let's get into today's trades. All right, good morning, everybody. Today's August 26th, so we got JD wanting to switch right here. So we're going to wait for that switch to show us again, and then we'll figure out what the risk reward is. And then, we'll pop in this thing if it actually confirms. All right, so we got about a 50-cent risk reward. So about, we're doing $500 risk reward right now. So 1,000 shares, what we're looking at queued up here. So once this confirms, we'll jump in. We got about 3 minutes left, and we'll be back. Okay, so we got a few seconds left here. We're going to jump in long, 2, 1, boom. We in. All right, we're marking it up. Just putting the speed bump in there. So we're ready to speed bump this thing. This could be drawing an M pattern. Well, clearly it looks like it's drawing an M pattern. And if that M pattern breaks, that'll be in our speed bump. It'll be kind of just barely breaking, but it looks like it could break, and then we'll have a slide. So it'll be a nice speed bump if that's what takes place. So we're gonna go ahead and mark up a speed bump too, so we're ready for it, because it looks very much so like that is what's about to happen. All right, so here we are with JD really close to risk. I'm gonna go ahead and add to my position down here. So I gotta remove my speed bump. Cancel. Buy. All right, so now I'm gonna put my speed bump back in. See if it'll let me. No. All right, after we sell our position, we'll just re-enter. 1500. I don't have enough buying power for Thinkorswim to allow me to have that size of open order. All right, there we go. So now we got our speed bump back in. Let's mark up where I just added that, because I'm going to pull that add off of here. So 76.95 or 76.69. Once we get some decent profit on it, I'm going to pull it out. That's what we just added. So once we get up in this zone, I'm going to go ahead and pull that add off the trade. The reason why I added, we're close to risk, and there's clearly some support here. So just looking, and then my target is pretty much within these candle movements. So very high probability that I'll get that movement, and then I'll be able to pull that 500 that I just added off, and that'll reduce my risk big time on this trade. And then if it does breach this area, it's really small compared to the move that's potential next. So I'll speed bump it with that additional add, and it's very small risk for the reward. So that's why I did that. I wish I would have got my ad right here. This would have been the sweet spot. Bam, right there. Would be awesome. So I'm sure you've heard many times, traders never average down. What are you doing? All that stuff. Looks like we're going to get stopped out here, or speed bump this play. So never average down. For me, averaging down, it's kind of true, kind of. If you're, all right, cool. There we go, speed bumped. So if you're in a trade that's a losing trade, and then you add to the losing trade, I think that's a bad idea. I wouldn't do that. But if you're in a winning trade and you have a chance to add to your position and get a better average, then why not do that? So that's the way I see it. So a losing trade for me is a trade that breaches my algo. So if my algo tells me this is where I speed bump or exit, then I speed bump or exit. I don't average down once it crosses this level. But when it's inside here, it's still a winning trade to me. So I can go ahead and average. So right now we speed bumped that, and we speed bumped it with the 1500. So this should be a really nice win when it gets to this level right here. So, but it's got to get there. It's got to break this M pattern. It may find a lot of resistance or support rather right here. So we'll see what happens. So one thing that makes me feel good about this trade, not that it will happen, but it increases the likelihood that it will happen, is that low of day is here. So low of day is past my target. So there's a really high probability it'll try to come find low of day and find its next resistance area. You also have this little bit of a or support area, I should say. You do have this bit of resistance right here, and now it's doing its thing. So it also could come back to that, which is also in my target. So right now there's a bunch of opportunity for traders to be around the world that are trading right now to be looking at this saying, when it gets to this area, then I'll figure out what I want to do. So, or I'm going to short it until it gets to this area, and then I may cover my short. Like, there's a lot of opportunity to drive this thing to this spot. So there's a good opportunity there. Now, if my low of day was up here and all this was up here, and I was speed bumping up here, it would be really high risk because there'd be a lot of support provided to send it back up. So a speed bump would be really dangerous, and I would probably just take the loss in the trade or move my stop below all that support. But because we do have it like this, there's a very high probability we're going to get here. That's why I also feel good about the speed bump size and all that stuff. So yeah, really a solid trade looking at. But it doesn't always work that way. The market does weird things all the time. it's always there to trick traders, especially when traders are all thinking this or looking at this. Market has a way of saying just kidding and taking everybody's money, like cleaning house, right? So we'll see if it gives the win to us, or if we get get a little beaten and pay our tax, and moving on to the next day. We'll see what happens. Yeah, because we're still touching the M pattern, so this is a breaking point as well. So this is also support for it to go back up, but it's also a breaking point right here. So if we can break through here, and it's kind of a lot, I say it's a breaking point, but not really. I mean, it really needs to get past the tip here, and then we'll be off to the races, which could be solid, because if it does do that, if it even just draws to that tip, we'll probably be in profit. But if it does break that, then we could look at a really nice profit. So there's a lot of stuff going for this trade, but there's also still some support here to send it the wrong direction. So it's not I don't feel 100% confident in it, but I would say like 75-80% confident that this is going to turn out pretty nice. Okay, we're breaching that area now, so now we just need to get a good close, and then this could be a really nice trade. At the same time, we are running into this very strong support area, right? So I got to be careful here. I don't want to have a losing day. This is a speed bump play. So the goal of the speed bump is to zero out my trade, which, if we're even right now, if I get out with $100 loss, it's not too bad. We're risking rewarding 100 or 500. But yeah, so it's a little bit of a sketchy area. It's not closing right now. It needs to close. We got 3 minutes left. We'll see. It's definitely a strong support area. So expected behavior right now, basically. All right, so that's expected. We're getting that support area, right? Question is, what happens next? Do we end up wishing we would have got out with that $27 loss? Or we're going to turn a nice profit when this goes sideways a little bit and then smashes down through there? That's the question. I mean, technically, I hit that target. That's my target for a speed bump. So, in a way, this trade is over. That target's been hit. I didn't take my trade off the table when I could have with a $27 loss. And we'll see what happens from here. I should have got out based on the rules, but I'm still in, and we'll see if my patience is rewarded or stupidity, because that is clearly a strong support area. I think one of the things that might be skewing my thought process right now is looking at the I have a couple other charts on my other monitor over here, and it's the the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, or the triple Qs, and those both are not doing great. They're selling off today. So hoping, yes, I use the word hope because it is straight up hoping right now that this follows suit. And right now it's not looking like it wants to. It's scary. But at the same time, every time a ticker breaks down, like not every time, but a lot of times when tickers break a support area or a pattern, they'll go and retest that area or resistance area. They'll go and retest before they continue on. So right now, this is still normal market behavior. This could be going to retest before it continues on. So hopefully that's what's happening here, and then it's going to roll over, and we'll get green on this trade. Okay, let's put my stop in because we might be getting stopped out. This might just be one of those days. Stupid. All right, let's put it right here. There we go. So right now, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ are starting to rip higher. Have been actually for the last several minutes. That's why I think part of this momentum going up here is, I think, tied to that a little bit. And we're also in that spot right now where it needs to hold this right here, or it could be game over. Which would be pretty sad because we almost had a nice little break even on the day, and now we're going to have a big fat loser. So, yeah, we'll see. All right, everybody. So this is the moment of depression, right? Like, you speed bumped the play, you came down, you're within $25 of our green day. And now it's going to be a $1,400 red day if this gets through here, which it very well looks like it's going to do. So this is where you start like feeling bad as a trader, and you're like, no, don't do it. I should move my stop. I don't want to get out. The rest of the market's starting to sell off. What am I doing? Move my stop. It's got a support, a resistance area right here. You know, what is that? Another 30 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, you know, 1,500 shares. That's only another $400. You know, I can get that back in a different trade if, you know, but it would take, you know, basically an additional trading day to get that money back if I'm wrong. So, you know, this is just the statistical average is to hit these levels and just play these levels. You know, I'm using the algo to have something to trade against. And when I play these exact levels, my averages wouldn't work out in my favor. I just can't do this, right? Like once this came back up, it's like, well, just, you know, pop out with a $200 loss. You can recover that in a trade. And now I'm going to lose 3 bars in the scaling ladder because of this. The other part where I made a mistake here is I added to my position. So, you know, and I speed bumped that add, which was fine. But once I got down in this area, I recovered that add in my speed bump. So I should have got rid of that add. So I should have took 500 shares off this trade and been left with 1,000. And then when it got to this area, you know, whether if I took this ride back up, I'd only be losing $1,000 on the day, not 1,500 or 1,600 on the day. So $1,000 is something I can do in a day with JD. 1,500 is something that's going to take 2 to 3 days to recover. So it's a pretty big bummer because I definitely won't recover that this week. And, you know, it is what it is. So, I mean, I say definitely won't recover. Yeah, won't recover it this week from today. I have one day left. There's like almost, it's a very small chance that I'll get $1,500 in a trade on JD. That would have to be a pretty big move. But yeah, we'll see. I know I'm talking like it's over. It pretty much is. So we'll see. We'll see. We got a couple seconds here. Could get lucky. And, but I don't know. All right. And then this is the point, traders, where the market starts to give you hope. You're like, oh, maybe it's not over. Maybe I can make my money and I don't have to have such a big red day. Maybe. And you start hoping and hoping, right? And you're like praying to the stock market gods. This is the part where it gives you a little bit of hope. And then it's either going to destroy your hope or give you more hope. But either way, the emotional roller coaster of trading. So like I said before, I don't get excited about these bigger candles like this when it's bigger than what the average candle has been, because sometimes it's like, are there any sellers left? And it's just opening the door for more buyers to come in. So I don't get too excited about it. But the follow through could get me excited. If this is a couple more big candles, then it's looking pretty awesome. But we'll see what happens here. Like I said, are we out of sellers when we have those candles? And it's the follow through that matters. And that's why I don't get too excited about when it looks like a big breakdown candle there. Or, you know, a big candle breaking down like it's going to go to the ground. But then you get this turnaround and you get stopped out. So like I said, the market gives you hope. Starts to give you hope. And then it says, just kidding. I'm going to take all your money. Pay the tax. So I don't get too upset about it though, traders, because it's a statistical, you know, it's a statistical game. The thing that bums me out is that I didn't, you know, it gave me the opportunity. It basically hit the target. Should have took that trade, you know, took it off at least half. Like I wasn't smart about this trade. So it cost me $1,500. So that part I'm not too happy about. But you know, it is what it is. A couple days and we'll get it back. Maybe even tomorrow we'll get half of it back or more. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to shut it down. See you tomorrow. Actually, no, we'll go look at the log real quick and see how bad that beat us up. All right, so here we are in the log. So put the trades in for today. All red. Isn't that bad? Like, when you go long and it's a loser. And then you go short and it's a loser. And you go long again and it's a loser. Yep. But actually, that's not how it happened. But that would be bad. And it has happened like that many times. These two right here are because of the add that I put in. So I just, whenever I add to my position, I just put it in a separate line item and do it that way. So so that's what that is. So yep, 1,500, and then the scaling ladder, I don't even want to look at it. Oh man. Yep, 1 2 3 4. It dropped us 3 bars. So now we're 4 away Right, we're right here. We're right here. Every time I knock on the door of another level, it always have bad days that line up to it. And today's Thursday. We just talked about this in the all right, in the dashboard. Let's go over there. Every Thursday's loser for me. Yesterday I was like, do I even trade tomorrow? Because I just always find a way to lose money on Thursdays. And we traded and we lost again. So I don't know if I should trade next Thursday. All right. All right, everybody. It's a bummer of a day. Still green on the month, barely. I was hoping to have a $3,000 month. And yeah, we got 3 days left. We still could do it, actually. But it's just not, yeah. All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.